In August 1953, the Central Intelligence Agency overthrew the democratically elected Prime Minister of Iran. They called it Operation Ajax. It cost $2.6 million. It took 28 days, and it set in motion a chain of institutional decisions by American presidents, Iranian leaders, oil companies, arms manufacturers, and revolutionary movements that has been building, with internal logic, toward the conflict you are watching on your newsfeed right now. This is not a video about what is happening now. It is a video about why this could not have happened any other way. And once you see the system underneath it, you will never understand Middle East news the same way again. The documents show typewritten pages. The declassified record indicates confidential stamps and file designations. The first fact is from August 1953. The CIA overthrew Iran's prime minister. The documents show the plan later referred to as TP Ajax. The declassified record indicates a $2.6 million covert budget and payments to local actors. The documents show Kermit Roosevelt Jr. as the operative in Tehran. The declassified record indicates British involvement, Foreign Office files, and parallel MI6 planning papers. The documents show the CIA's internal justification. The declassified record indicates strategic and economic interests, especially oil. The declassified record indicates textual chains, telegram, cable, memorandum, after-action review. Internal summaries in CIA CREST and National Archives collections, FO371 files at Q. The documents show the immediate outcome: Mohammad Mossadegh's removal and a reversal of nationalization moves. The documents show the restoration of the monarchy. The declassified record indicates a shift in Tehran's power structure that altered incentives for future governments. Policy was not episodic. The documents show the start of an institutional pattern: intervention, regime change, long alliance, and the construction of security instruments. The declassified record indicates silent stamps, the typeface, the marginal notes. Exact phrases recur: protect vital interests, prevent communist penetration, secure oil flows. The documents show how a set of formulas entered official usage. The declassified record indicates this is not interpretation, it is the archive speaking. Operation Ajax, 1953. The document is the argument. The documents show the step-by-step plan for covert action. The declassified record indicates budget tables, cash to newspapers, and to street organizers. The British view in parallel, FO371 memoranda, describing Anglo-Iranian oil company interests and contingency planning. Oil and power recur as reasons in dispatches. The documents show Mossadegh's legitimacy before action, parliamentary support for nationalization recorded in fruits. The coup dismantled a popular government and installed a monarchy oriented to Western security partnerships. CIA internal histories and State Department planning papers codified the architecture that followed: arms, advisors, security services. The declassified record indicates the genesis of a bilateral security relation that conditioned future choices. The documents show years of arms sales and military planning. DoD and state export licenses and foreign military sales records from the 1950s through the 1970s. Dollar figures and equipment lists, fighters, tanks, advisors, scale into the tens of billions. Approvals, delivery timetables, and how capability was transferred. The documents show White Revolution planning papers and U.S. Embassy reports summarizing the Shah's reform agenda with U.S. recommendations. Memos in Frus discuss linking reform to consolidation, modernization, and security marching together. The documents show SAVAK's formation and activity. Declassified embassy dispatches and later human rights reports describe arrests, interrogations, and surveillance. CIA and state evaluations tie domestic repression to foreign backing. Budgets for training and advice repeatedly cite stability and the Shah personally. By 1978, the documents show rising pressure, strikes, protests, clerical mobilization, logged in cables. November 1979, the U.S. Embassy hostage crisis. The declassified record indicates logs, hearings, sanctions, withdrawals, and laws that hardened options. Institutions on both sides anchored legitimacy to antagonism, an institutional lock-in. Iran-Iraq War. The documents show U.S. policy as complex and cautious. State cables and Pentagon memoranda from 1980 to 1988 discuss maintaining regional balance, preventing a decisive victory for either side. Options considered and rejected: overt support, covert assistance, and arms controls. The documents show intelligence sharing and practical interactions with Iraq. Tactical information, logistics, permissive policies. Officials weighed the risks of assisting Iraq against the risks of an Iranian victory. The documents show awareness of chemical weapons use, declassified assessments, and cables note attacks against Iranian forces and civilians. Active debate spanned legal, moral, and strategic dimensions. War entrenched escalation logic. After-action reviews in both capitals recorded lessons and institutional updates. The documents show the 1988 downing of Iran Air Flight 655 by USS Vincennes. The declassified record indicates command investigations, incident logs, radar tapes, and internal summaries. Public explanation met contested accounts. The documents show 290 civilians died. Command chronologies describe radar signatures, rules of engagement, and decisions made under perceived threat. And identification errors amid high tension. Internal Navy critiques led to procedural revisions. State communications show diplomatic fallout, protests, and later compensation discussions archived in FRUS. The documents show doctrine, logs, manuals, technology, and training changed to reduce perceived future risk. Each short-term technical fix added a layer to a systemic response pattern. The declassified record indicates how near misses embed distrust in institutional memory, reinforcing the escalation machine. Patterns: action, reaction, escalation, near miss, de-escalation, repeat. The documents show Iranian calculations about vulnerability and how leaders perceive their risks. The declassified record indicates cables and intelligence estimates from the late 1980s and 90s, and the 2007 NIE judging Iran halted a nuclear weapons program in 2003, while retaining capacity to reconstitute. Footnotes and dissent matter. The documents show Tehran's security doctrine linking nuclear capability to regime survival, with deterrence themes cited in cables and internal materials. These choices fit a pattern, not only technological or ideological, but institutional responses to perceived systemic vulnerability. The declassified record is thin. Public technical reports fill gaps. Symantec, Langner, Siemens Advisories, Kaspersky. The documents show a clear structure. Stuxnet targeted Siemens Step 7 industrial control systems, issued malicious commands to PLCs to intermittently vary centrifuge rotor speeds while spoofing monitoring data. Analysts and investigative reporting estimate roughly 1,000 machines affected over time and link the operation to U.S.-Israeli cooperation under code names such as Olympic Games. Stuxnet is widely understood as the first tailored cyberweapon to cause physical damage to critical industrial infrastructure. The declassified record indicates states added a non-kinetic tool to their arsenals, creating legal, strategic, and doctrinal gaps. A precedent: physical infrastructure could be attacked through code. Public technical documents become the evidentiary backbone when classified files remain closed. The documents show the complete JCPOA text, July 14, 2015, published by the E3/EU+3 and Iran. Precise limits on enrichment, reductions in installed centrifuges, stockpile caps, and enhanced IAEA monitoring. detailed in annexes, implementation plans, and safeguards documentation. The declassified record indicates verification reports documenting compliance metrics and snapback mechanisms. Cables, hearings, and parliamentary records show constituencies portraying concession as weakness. Legitimacy constraints made normalization politically non-survivable for either government. The documents show proxy networks functioning as strategic buffers. Declassified intelligence reporting, NGO analyses, and U.S. Treasury designations mapping support lines. Financing, training, and arms flows are described in Treasury and state press materials and declassified cables. These networks serve deterrence and influence aims, and complicate direct diplomacy. The documents show 3 conditions to alter the system: mechanisms to offset domestic legitimacy costs, energy architectures that reduce geopolitical blowback, credible regional security frameworks. The declassified record indicates these conditions rarely coincide. Electoral cycles, crises, and shocks close political space. Internal deliberations record incentives for delay. Incremental fixes strengthen institutional defaults. Path dependence. The documents show arms, surveillance, sanctions, war, technology, and narratives layering into a durable system. Unless the 3 structural conditions appear together, similar outcomes recur. The practical question now: which choices being made today are building systems that will operate with the same mechanical logic in 2090? The documents show the system. The archive speaks.